Hello and welcome to Richie Nicks Gaming. Today we're just going to be continuing the World 1 League regular season, just trying to get back out of 4th place. It's been a while since I've recorded, it's been a while since I've posted relatively. I haven't even played this game since the last time I recorded, obviously, but I haven't even opened it. I just want to play. I promise I will get back to doing your challenges. I'm not in front of my computer right now, so it's harder to specifically find them. The YouTube studio on mobile is a whole bunch of crap and is the opposite of helpful. I will record those challenges in the near future, later this week when I'm sitting in front of my computer, and we'll also discuss all the new stats and stuff that were added to the game. But for now, we're just going to be playing. And as you can see here, I'm watching YouTube videos. I'm watching Quinton Reviews discuss Rise of Skywalker right now, so, months after the fact, spoiler alerts for Rise of Skywalker and whatnot. But I'm actually not a fan on his take so far. Not a fan of Rise of Skywalker, do not get me wrong, but a lot of these reviews and interpretations have been a whole bunch of bullshit, so, you don't need to make up reasons to say that movie was bad. It was bad, but a lot of people are just, lying or misinterpreting or misrepresenting, and he's one of them. Not gonna lie.
They were created by Disney out of a corporate need for a franchise. They were invented by filmmakers out of nostalgia. And they created this cultural zeitgeist that reinvigorated the love of Star Wars in almost every generation. But when they got to the end of the day, and they had to answer why they've done all of this, they couldn't come up with a good answer outside of Star Wars is good, and you should feel good for liking it. I want to start off this in-depth discussion by analyzing the final scene in this film, which, thanks to the nature of the sequels, is now the final scene in the entire chronological Star Wars saga. Obviously, at this point, we're going to get into spoilers. If you somehow missed the kazoo bit at the beginning, this is a good time to turn the video off.
That was a very slow
So in this final scene of all of Star Wars, we see Rey arrive on a planet, which we immediately recognize to be Tatooine. And then she goes to a place which we as an audience know is the Skywalker family farm. And as an audience, we go, oh my god, this is the place from episode 4. We're here again. Why are we here again? And the movie goes, isn't it crazy that we're here again? Isn't that so cool? And we go, yeah, it is. But why did you bring us here? What's your fucking point? And the movie goes, isn't it just cool that we can be here, that we can come back here? And we go, yeah, but why are we here? We've been here before. Why'd you fucking take us here again?
When migraine strikes, there's new quick dissolve Nurtec.
Right?
Don't take if allergic to Nurtec. Pay as little as $0.
Boy.
More at Nurtec.com.
Say.
Diaz. Ooh, should not have swung at that. TikTok sucks. It's just a data mine.
Maybe I care a little bit more than I was leading on. And you know what? If that's what you want out of Star Wars,
This is already the best first inning we've had in a really long time.
A set that you recognize from a previous movie, and to not really find a point in being there outside of the presumption that you, the audience, recognize this set and find some attachment to it, then you're gonna love this movie. That's really the litmus test. Then this is a Star Wars movie for you. You can turn the video off now. Okay, they have a point in going back here. It's a little deceptive to say that they don't have a point, but it's such a vacuous point that it would almost be better to just pretend that they didn't have a point. An old woman walks up to Rey and asks her name, and she struggles with this, as she has throughout the movie, because she doesn't want to call herself Rey Palpatine, because, by the way, Palpatine is her grandfather. So she looks over at this home that she has no connection or relevance to the character, and she decides she's going to choose it as her new home. And she says, "My name is Rey Skywalker." And then the credits roll. So basically, this is Rey saying, at the end of her journey, Luke was good. I consider myself to be like Luke, and thus I am good by proxy. I have two hot takes to say about this. One is pretty normal, and one is gonna piss off the chuds. So we'll start with that one.
Chud.
It's just gotta be between me and you. So come here for a second. Here. Having a female lead define her importance exclusively through a male lead is bad writing. The second thing I have to say is that in a meta way, this moment is also the sequels defining their own worth by saying the original trilogy was
Wow, I
good.
thought that was gonna be
I
balls.
consider myself to be like the original trilogy, and thus I am good by proxy. I want to talk about the biggest problems that I have with Star Wars as a franchise, which I sort of expected the sequel trilogy to fix. The first thing is big. There is one trilogy that people really like, the original trilogy, and all other Star Wars media exists to mirror and reflect that piece of content. The franchise's total identity has become, these three movies are good, let's play them. And that kind
That's a
of
bunch
ends
of
up feeling
bullshit.
limiting after a while. The second issue is that
Fuck.
as the franchise has expanded and more elements have been added onto, certain moments from the original trilogy have been altered or ruined. For instance, in the original trilogy, Darth Vader is a terrifying evil force, but we never understand the scope of how true this is. We see him be imposing, he throws some people around, he kills some Nazi generals, he fights Luke, he kills Obi-Wan, kills, transitioning him into immortality, but it's still drawn back enough that when he defeats the Emperor to save his son, when he uses his final dying breaths to say that he loves the children he never knew, we see him as redeemed. But when the franchise circles back around and we truly see the scope of the crimes of Vader, that redemption starts to feel like bullshit. Vader is the main perpetrator of one of the worst genocides to ever happen in the galaxy. He murders children with his own hands. He is implicit in several other genocides, also perpetrated by the Empire, including the Lasat and everyone killed on Alderaan. And all the fucking species he wipes out, all the toddlers he slices in two with his laser sword, we're supposed to believe they get to the afterlife and Space Jesus is all like, don't worry guys, in a couple decades he's gonna throw an old guy over a railing and then he's gonna say that he loves his daughter and then he's gonna come hang out here with all you guys. It's a massive inconsistency that we allow ourselves to buy into because we understand that the movies were not written in order and probably should not be viewed that way. My point is simply that had Vader's wider story arc actually been written in chronological order, it would have been bad writing. Episode 1, Vader personally murders children. Episode 2, Vader helps orchestrate several genocides. Episode 3, Vader kills his boss and then says he loves his daughter, and now he's in good guy immortality forever. But the other thing that the prequels do is rewrite the Jedi to not be fun. And I mean in ways other than the video essay I released a few days ago discussed. In the original trilogy, Luke has the Force because he's an audience surrogate, and the filmmaker wants you to believe that you can use the Force yourself. It's this vague magic that exists all around us that anyone can be trained to understand and use. In the prequels, Anakin can use the Force because his blood is better than yours. The Force is gifted exclusively to those with superior genes. If you can use the Force, you have to be related to another famous person who can also use the Force. This whole bloodline thing was introduced exclusively for the reveal that Darth Vader was Luke's father, but it's indirectly led to the mysticism of the Force being absolutely destroyed. It makes the Force not fun, not approachable, and on
Right,
an
but not
intellectual
every
level,
Jedi is related
little
to a famous
overtly
Jedi.
fashy. The plot of episode
Same with the
1
Sith,
is the Jedi
like-
arrive on Tatooine, they see all these slaves, they see all this injustice, they decide not to do anything about it ever, but then they meet a boy who they find out has superior
It's
genes,
out of
and
their
they decide they have to free him exclusively
control.
and recruit him into their order of people with superior genes as well, which is definitely not a cult. Do not call it a cult. Slavery is okay on the planet of Tatooine, but we will say
Yes,
this
not
boy
okay. They
who
literally
has the
condemn it.
superior
It's just
headship
out of their
the
control.
Jedi. My final problem
not
with
part of
Star
the
Wars
Republic.
was introduced by the movie The Force Awakens, which is a good film that still has this massive franchise-destroying element. J.J. Abrams believed that the main appeal of Star Wars was cool reveals, like that Luke's father is Darth Vader. And so he wrote The Force Awakens not only to be a good standalone movie, but to also ask questions which would incentivize the audience to be invested in sequels answering said questions. Who are Rey's parents? Where did she get her superior Force genetics from? Where did Snoke come from? How is he connected to other bad guys in the franchise? Who are the Knights of Ren? He took all these mysteries that he did not have answers to, and he put them all in a box that he calls the mystery box. And then he kind of went, maybe in a sequel film someone will open the mystery box and you'll find out what's inside. And again, the mystery box is not only a core-defining aspect of why people like that
Do
movie,
not let them
but
score.
also why they wanted more Star Wars films after that. But from my experience, the biggest question that most audience members walked away with from the Force Awakens was the slow burning one. Where they
Does the
went,
D stand for
wow,
dumbass?
that was incredible. It was like episode 4, but bigger. Why was it like episode 4 but bigger?
That's not why I liked
Why
The
did
Force
it choose to be
Awakens.
that?
The
Why
For-
did it
I like
accomplish
The
with
Force
being
Awakens
that?
because it
Few other Star
it
Wars
set
films have
stuff
literally
up.
just chosen to be a
and then
different
that's
Star Wars
why
film
The
with
Last
a larger
Jedi is
scale.
truly awful. Like, it's
What
not
was
just
the purpose
bad,
of doing all
it
that?
just it ignored everything
Is
that was
this
set up
entire
for it.
sequel franchise just going to be the
The,
original trilogy?
the Force
but on
Awakens
a bigger
was not
scale?
bad
And what makes
until
me
The Last
love
Jedi
The Last
made it
Jedi
bad.
Is that all of these qualms and more are addressed within the film, even if it's in a way that a lot of audience members did not appreciate. One of Rian Johnson's main points in the film is that the setup in The Force Awakens is kind of silly, because it gives out all these questions and all these mysteries for future movies to expand upon, but none of these questions can really be answered in a way that will satisfy the
That was
the
dumb.
audiences had for them. There are no potential answers to any of these mystery
I expected
box
that to
questions
happen.
that don't sound inherently stupid when you say them out loud. Seriously, go watch some of those like stupid how it should have ended animations that run through like all the different options they could do. Like Rey is like, oh my god, Mace Windu is my uncle. Oh. Imagine how out of left field it would have been if in The Last Jedi, during that big conclusion, Kylo had given the answer to Rey that he gives in Episode 9. He would have been like, yeah, your grandfather's Palpatine. And she would have been like, oh, I guess that's not really relevant to me or this situation. I'm sorry, I was asking about let's work on what's happening in the movie right now. And the reason that none of these answers could possibly matter is that they have no effect on Rey or her friends or the plot of the films or the importance of the narrative or really anything. And more importantly, it doesn't answer the biggest question that the audience has in their mind, which is, what is the point of the sequel films?
Yes.
Is this all just going to be the original trilogy, but with better special effects? Is there going to be an actual point to the fact that I've become...
Episode 8
invested in
is
all
not
of
like
these
Episode
movies?
5.
And Johnson answers all of these questions by subverting the audience's expectations. Kylo Ren goes from the Anakin Skywalker figure waiting to be redeemed to the Palpatine figure. The mass murderer whose motivations are exclusively that he's hungry for power. This is something even his own mother admits. Ben Solo is dead. There is no going back. Any attempt to redeem him would be an insult to the impossibly high amount of people that he has personally slain for no motivation outside of his own greed. Rey realizes that she has no family other than her friends, and that that's okay, because she can continue fighting for good without trying to protect some sort of personal legacy. Through this, the mysticism of the Jedi is reborn again. Anyone can be a Jedi. You can
They
be a
always
Jedi. I
could.
can be a Jedi.
They always.
Can be a Jedi. That's the point
Like,
of that
who's
scene.
Samuel L.
It's a
Jackson
beautiful
related to?
moment.
Who's Yoda
You have
related
a more
to?
interesting bad guy. The Force
Who's
is
Qui-Gon
once again
Jinn related
something
to? Who's
approachable
Obi-Wan
the
related
audience.
to?
And the ending of the film sets
They're all
up
nobody.
a final movie
It's just
that
that
has
one
to be
family.
something more creative than just Episode 6, but bigger. But doing Episode 6 but bigger is what J.J. Abrams wanted to do, so he just fucking ignores everything and makes Episode 6 but bigger anyways. There's a moment in Episode 8 where Kylo Ren...
It's not that he ignored what Johnson did so much as Johnson ignored what he did.
To emulate Darth Vader, and he realizes that he's not Darth Vader. He's no one but himself, and he smashes the thing into the wall. And this represents him and the trilogy becoming individualized, their own separate entities. And then at the start of Episode 9, Kylo Ren pulls all the pieces to his mask out of his junk drawer and super glues them back together and puts the mask back on. I feel this is the most clear metaphor of what Episode 9 is in relation to Episode 8. In response to Snoke being killed...
And now it's getting all laggy for
Palpatine.
some reason.
So once again, Kylo Ren can be the Anakin Skywalker figure waiting to defeat the Emperor figure to be redeemed. The Force is once again rewritten to be all about blood ties.
Why is it
Rey only
lagging?
can use the
I'm
Force
not gonna be
because
able to
she
hit
has
anything
superior
now,
genes
if it's
that
gonna
she
keep
inherited
lagging.
from her grandfather. And the Porgs are no longer nested in the Falcon. That might seem like the smallest of issues, but to me it's one of the most spineless, because the fact that the Porgs had nested in the Falcon was just adorable and would definitely have made several scenes in this movie a lot easier to handle. Like I said, I sort of forced myself to find most of this whiplash to be amusing to the extent that I didn't get mad about it in the theater. But the one thing that did really piss me off was how Rian Johnson said to himself while making The Last Jedi, "There's not enough Asian representation in Hollywood. I want to introduce an Asian main character to this trilogy." And J.J. Abrams responded by going,
Dude, Rose
No.
sucks.
"No,
Fuck Rose.
No,
Fuck the
no,
story she was
no.
part of. Like, fuck all of that. Like, it doesn't matter that she's Asian. It doesn't
No.
matter that, like, she got forced
She's
into
not
the
a main
main
character.
cast. She's
She
a
can be in
fucking
the
piece of
movie,
bullshit.
but she's not a main character.
I was
She can
literally
be in scenes,
very extremely glad
I'll
that
let her
she
be in,
was
like, the
explicitly
rebellion
stated
group
to not be part of
scenes,
this.
And I'll give her lines, basically the lines I would have given Admiral Akbar. But no, she's not a lead. Sorry, she's not a main character. I know this isn't what happened, but it truly feels like J.J. Abrams responded to the massive harassment that Kelly Marie Tran received from outright bigots online because she was in this movie by putting her in the movie list to make them more happy because he still wanted them to be able to buy tickets without getting mad. So it literally feels like he's validating the people who were harassing her. Maybe this is just me, but in the last year I've discovered that pissing off white supremacists is the most easy and fun thing to
I
do in
didn't
the
hate
world.
Rose
And
because
don't
I'm a
get me
white
wrong, it
supremacist.
will
I
end
hated
with you
Rose
having
because her
less
character was
income
stupid,
than when you
her
weren't
motivation
doing
was
it,
stupid,
but
her
in
action was
response,
stupid,
you get the
and
instant
like it was like
gratification
all of that was stupid.
of knowing
Like
that
that whole
Nazis
subplot
hate
where they
you,
went to the
and,
casino
oh,
planet,
maybe that's
that whole
priceless.
crashing
So
into
alongside
Finn in
Rose
order to
being
save
written
his
out, the
life.
movie also
What? You
introduces
fucking
a
blew
bunch
him
of
up.
side characters
Like he was
who
gonna
are
save
very
everybody,
expanded upon and are
and
not
you did
interesting
something
in the
that could have
slightest.
killed him anyway to
Like,
try to prevent him
we
from
meet
killing
Poe's
himself.
friend
That's literally
that
one of the
used to know,
dumbest things in the
who was a
world.
Power
And then she
Ranger.
kissed him, and they had
Don't tell
no
me she's not a Power
relationship.
Ranger,
It was
because
stupid.
She's a Power Ranger. And this Power Ranger is not an interesting character, but they spend a lot of time developing her, and we're supposed to be excited whenever she shows up on screen. And this is especially not interesting under the context of remembering that these are supposed to be scenes with Rose. The film also introduces a woman named Jana who helps tour the main characters around so they can find the the Sith thing. The Sith thing.
That was supposed to be
A lot of people
Rose
argue
and
that Jana
Finn instead of
exists
Poe and that other
exclusively
chick.
to replace Rose because JJ just didn't want to put her in the movie. And this is definitely true. There's a lot of moments in the movie that could have just been Rose scenes that she takes up. But it's also, to me, an undeniable fact that Jana and her friends are introduced because the filmmakers were too spineless to just use Ewoks. I want to quickly mention that the representation in this film feels like a massive step backwards. I know that's something a lot of you choose not to care about, but it's something I feel like I have to bring up. It feels really awkward how the film skirts around acknowledging or expanding on the romantic pairings in the last two movies, where the black male lead was matched with the non-black female leads. And I know it's awkward to say it that bluntly, but the only reason I'm doing that is because that was an element of the last two movies that the films gained massive praise for, because movies did not do that up to that point, and it deserves that praise. And it feels weird that the film is just like,
We're gonna lose after an awesome first inning. I'm
There's a moment towards
furious.
the end of the film where two female resistance members kiss, and this is the first on-screen gay moment in a Star Wars film. This was heavily advertised, and I feel like the
Wait, when did that
filmmakers
happen?
expect praise for this, but they do not deserve it in the slightest. I feel the same way about this that
I don't remember
did the
women
gay character
kissing.
in Endgame, whose gayness was limited to the extent that it could be removed in foreign dubs. Dear filmmakers of Hollywood, you will get praise for representation when you introduce queer characters who aren't so intentionally minor that they can be edited out for foreign audiences. The bare minimum is never something that is worthy of being commended, and saying that it is implies that it should be normalized for Hollywood to constantly tote the will of bigoted nations overseas. A lot of moments in this feel like they were written to respond to like fandom nitpicks about moments in The Last Jedi that were really prevalent in like the 6 months after it came out, but it's sort of faded now, and I can certainly say in 10 or 20 years people won't care about those moments, so it's going to be weird to try and explain like certain.
Did you see that?
aspects of
It
this
jumped
film
way
to my
up here.
children.
That's
I'm
why
gonna
I
have to,
missed.
Sit down and be like,
Did you
yeah,
see that?
A bunch of people on Reddit got mad. They monopolized the conversation. Then people started making 48-hour reviews. Next thing you know, episode 9 is made exclusively to appeal to those people, and those people also hated it. Maybe when I show Star Wars to my kids, they'll be like, yeah, the weird thing about the sequel trilogy is it's just 2 movies. Isn't that strange? I don't know why they called it a trilogy. So here's a question. When episode 9 finally reveals all of the secrets inside these mystery boxes, are any of these reveals
fuck this game.
satisfying to anyone?
Fuck this game.
Were you guys all really that gratified to finally see the Knights of Ren?
Fuck
like,
you, play us
this
soft.
group of dudes in all black standing around doing nothing, like they're trying to audition for Organization 13. Did Rey finding out who her grandfather is really cause her to do anything other than go on?
Alright, well, that was a bunch of bullshit, wasn't it? Like, fuck. That whole good first inning, get screwed a whole bunch. That fucking home run. Mad. I'm just mad. Please like, subscribe, and share. Check out my stuff. You know, YouTube stuff. Everything I normally say at the end of these videos. See you guys down in the comments.